It is official, folks, as the Boston Celtics sale has gone through, and Wyc Grousbeck is no longer the majority owner, as Bill Chisholm and his family have now taken the reins of the Boston Celtics. So what will this mean for the team, the players, Joe Mazzulla, and how this team will try to structure another championship contender falling off of this Jayson Tatum injury-riddled season? We'll be diving and exploring all of that and more on this latest episode here on Celtics Digest, as some signings have also been coming through the cracks as well. So without further ado, we're going to get into it here. Patrick, my great co-host, is here today. And Patrick, some news for the Boston Celtics, at least after these last couple of days, which is nice to see.
Bruce, it is unreal how long we've gone without some news. I mean, we have some small news over the weekend, but this one's a little bit more worthy of talking about, and I'm definitely excited for the Celtics' future with this news coming in.
I am too, and I hope you guys are as well. Let us know your thoughts down below on your thoughts with the Celtics' future in the comment section, and let's get into it, Patrick. As like we said in the title, it's official. The Boston Celtics have officially sold, and this was something that's been kind of held back, something that's been kind of talked about throughout the entirety of this off season, but a statement came out from the Boston Celtics today letting us know that the Chisholm Group takes control of the Boston Celtics. Steve Pagluka, one of the other families involved in the ownership with the Grousbeck family, having those other minority ownerships of the team, also gave his congrats to Bill Chisholm and his team on the closing of the Celtics transaction, giving his statement. And we did see that with this new sale, that Wyc Grousbeck and Aditya Mittal will still be with the team, as they will be the alternate governors, with Grousbeck also serving as a co-owner and CEO, running day-to-day operations with Chisholm in existing basketball and business management teams. Now, this was something that we talked about a little bit earlier last week, as reports were coming out that with the sale, he wasn't going to be the majority owner, and a lot of people were freaking out. But in reality, like we discussed, it doesn't seem like it's going to be that much of a difference for Wyc Grousbeck going into this year.
Yeah, a lot of people were definitely freaking out, definitely saying some things about Wyc Grousbeck as well, but I think like we talked about, Bruce, we kind of expected Wyc to still stay in the loop because he did want to still be a part of the Celtics. He enjoyed his time with the Celtics, and looks like it's going to keep going on for much longer. I mean, Wyc just loves being a part of the Celtics. I think Bill Chisholm and him have a great relationship, and we saw that at a lot of the games, sitting courtside, laughing. I mean, you could take that with a grain of salt, but you could kind of just tell the relationship that they gained over that short period of time. And the fact that Bill Chisholm's a huge Celtics fan as well, I think Wyc just loves that, and just the energy that he brings, and just showing that he wants to bring more championships. And that's exactly what this team is built around. It's built around a lot of championships, and he wants to bring that home for himself. And I think him being at that owner spot, I think he would love nothing more than doing that and having Wyc by his side.
Yeah, and I completely agree with you when we talked about those things the other day, referring to that. This was one of the things that you mainly mentioned, and I thought it could be definitely a key to see in the future, and it's looking like it's going to be staying true now. Obviously, with other ownerships, we talked about Mark Cuban and stuff like that, they did fizzle out, so maybe we will see Wyc Grousbeck fizzle out throughout the years. But when he made the sale, it was said that he was still going to be part of ownership through 28-29, and we'll have to wait and see if that still does remain the course here for the Celtics. But like you mentioned, Bill Chisholm had an article that dropped from Adam Himmelsbach where he talked about the sale to the Boston Globe, and Himmelsbach, as we all know, does a fantastic job covering the team. And one of the snippets here from our guy Ian, who we had on the show, lets us know that the Celtics are still competing and going to want to compete. And this is something a lot of fans have discussed about with the future of this season, but Chisholm says that they're not playing for second, they're playing for championships and banners. You mentioned him being a Bostonian kid growing up in the city. He knows what it is to be a Celtics fan. He's going to put that investment in there, and I think, like you mentioned, we're going to see that come through in the future with the Celtics. Even if they shed some salary this year, we'll still bring out those money bags in those future seasons.
Yeah, and I think this year is a great year as a learning experience for Bill. I think I said that last time as well, but this will really get him learning on how to work the salary quicker, because when you go through something, and I think that this goes for the both of us as well, learning a lot with all these salary caps and the aprons, the words that we constantly heard for months on end. I think you learn about it more, and if you're not really going through it, you don't really understand what's going on. And I think he kind of came in right at the perfect time where he saw this team that won a championship, and all of a sudden you flip the page and it's a brand new team. There's a couple of guys still there, but for being honest, there's not many left, but I think that this is a great transition and going into next year's off season as well, that they're both going to be working together, especially with Brad. I think this is going to be great for him. This year may not be that championship year that he is playing for, but I think it's something that he is setting up for the future, for more great years to come, and I think that this is the perfect opportunity for him.
Yeah, getting that blueprint specifically from that championship team from just 2 seasons ago, I think is going to be key to showcase to Bill Chisholm what kind of works with Jayson Tatum, what works with Jaylen Brown, what kind of contracts you can kind of bring in, what kind can you get some steal contracts like a Sam Hauser or a Peyton Pritchard signed on an early deal, so you can have that flexibility as well. Those are going to be things that Bill Chisholm's going to have to use. And with Brad Stevens staying on as general manager, I can easily see that still coming into play. It's obviously just going to be, will Bill Chisholm put the money where his mouth is? And then we're going to have to see the bright of day to really see that come through. But that's what we got with the Celtics sale. But there is still some more news, Patrick, as with the latest, we did see someone is going to be returning, and that is someone that is a familiar face with the Maine Celtics, as they went in and they signed their final training camp deal. The Celtics agreed to a deal with Ron Harper Jr. He spent his past 3 seasons with the Raptors and Pistons. Last year, played with the Celtics G League with the Maine Celtics, but then was picked up by the Motor City Cruise, Detroit's team, on a 2-way deal halfway through their season. Now he's going to be coming back to Boston. His brother is obviously the number 2 overall pick in last year's draft in Dylan Harper. And like Bobby said, he played for the season Maine in the Summer League. Hearing it's an Exhibit 10 deal, which is the final training camp deal. What does this mean to you, Patrick?
I think we said it before we started. This means no mystery man Charles Bassey, and that definitely stinks. But I mean, this is a familiar face for the Celtics. I guess there's something that they saw in him that they loved, and maybe bringing in another forward instead of a center kind of gives him a little bit more opportunity and kind of gives them more options, because you got guys like Minot as well, who obviously haven't been able to show too much in the league just yet, but maybe have someone who's been around a little bit longer, even if it is the G League. I think that it's a good opportunity for him to bring him in, familiar faces again. But I mean, again, this isn't something something to be too excited about. It's because he hasn't been too great, but if he's like he is when he was at Rutgers, then I'll be more than happy. But I think that this is just something that they're just trying to test some guys out. And yeah, no Charles Bassey, but we'll have to see what happens with Amari Williams still.
Yep. I'm excited to see what happens. I do think this is cool to bring back someone that they've had experience with, specifically just recently. It seems like that the Maine Celtics didn't want to lose Ron Harper Jr., right? Obviously, they wished him the best of luck, and he deserved that 2-way contract with the Motor City Cruise. But now that he's kind of, not on a 2-way and he's kind of readily available, the Celtics are just saying, hey, we really liked your game last year. I know DJ Rodman, another former son of an NBA player as well, played within the Maine Celtics team, and those kind of guys fell in love with the Celtics system, and the system fell in love with them. And I think kind of going back and investing in someone that you already had some great play with in the past is going to be great to see what he can kind of break out. Do I think, like you mentioned, he's going to be a standout player, someone to make the final roster? Most likely not, but he could be a fun, intriguing piece for that Maine Celtics team after that training camp deal, fit in with those other guys that they've brought in Aaron Scott, Hayden Gray, Jalen Bridges, to kind of bring up that competitiveness with those 2-way guys, and Max Shoga, Amari Williams, RJ Lewis, so that they can really beef up this Maine Celtics squad, get them ready to go, so that in a couple of seasons, we can have those guys like the Peyton Pritchards, like the Sam Hausers, like the Luke Cornett's, those key role players that maybe develop through the Maine Celtics or get drafted here, can stand out. We have yet to see it with a guy like Baylor Shireman or Jordan Walsh yet, but that's what this season's for, and I think, like you mentioned, it's going to be key for what obviously Bill Chisholm has to do with his money and how the Celtics team can really evaluate their prospects, which I'm excited to see, to say the least.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited to see it as well. And I think that it's just hard not to just talk about how the past has been with those Maine Celtics guys. We talked about it many, many times. A lot of people maybe don't think that the Maine Celtics program is that good, but I mean, we've seen many guys come up through that system, play well, especially this offseason with Luke Cornett signing there. And I think just the opportunity for Ron Harper, again, just to come back somewhere where he's comfortable and somewhere that he feels like he could have an opportunity to really get a spot somewhere. I think this is a great opportunity for him, and like many other guys this season, it's a season of opportunity, like I've been calling it, and I think that it's a great idea for the Celtics to bring in someone back that they have a familiar face, like you said.
I agree. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this latest episode where we broke down the latest with the Boston Celtics. Talking about the Celtics sale, Bill Chisholm, now the majority owner of the Boston Celtics, him and his group will take over this year. And we'll have to see what that means for the Celtics core structure and how they really set to put themselves above the rest of the East in the next couple of seasons. Ron Harper Jr. is also back on that training camp deal. Excited to see what he can bring out. Let us know your thoughts down below in the comment section and hit that like and subscribe button as Patrick and I have been trying to get the daily videos out. Obviously, there hasn't been enough news to get the daily news out, but when stuff does drop, we do have it for you. So if you want to stay up to date on everything, make sure to stay with Celtics Digest, as this is the #1 spot for Celtics content here on YouTube. Without further ado, we'll be signing off. Have a great rest of your day, and go Boston Celtics.